Perfect. All right, let's start. Actually, there was a small technical issue, that is the reason we're a bit late, but still, let's start. As you know, today we are going to start a new batch on Tableau, right? This is our first demo. And before getting into the topics, let me first introduce about myself. I am Divya. I have about 8+ years of experience into data analytics. I completed my master's in data science and I have experience in teaching all the data science subjects like SQL, Tableau, Power BI, Python, statistics, and machine learning. Okay, so with DURGASOFT, basically I teach with, or I take classes on MySQL and Tableau. Okay, so for Tableau, this is our first demo, and this is the course content. As you know, the duration is of 40 days. Okay, and the course content, in a while I'll explain. We will have a look on the course content, but before that, first let's try to understand today, as this is our first demo. Let me give you a small, introduction to Tableau first of all. Okay, so before that, could you please tell me about yourself a little bit, Krishna? You can even text, like, are you currently working? Do you have basic knowledge on Tableau, or are you a student like that? Do you have prior knowledge on SQL kind of thing? Okay, that's fine. You can just uh, type in chat box, Krishna, like, do you have prior experience on Tableau? Are you currently working? Anyways, if perfect. Okay, thank you. I got it. Anyways, we will learn everything from scratch. Okay, so no worries about it. Let's start. So as you know, what is a Tableau? We all know that it is a visualization tool, right? It's a business intelligence tool. Basically, by using Tableau, we will create all the visualizations, right? We will connect to the data. We will create some visualizations, that is some graphical representations, I can say. Basically, we will create some graphs, or we will technically call here as dashboards, right? We know that. You're saying that you're already currently working, so yeah. Basically, Tableau is a visualization tool using which we will create some graphical representations. We know that in today's world, everywhere we are generating lots and lots of data, right? Irrespective of the domain, every business nowadays is happening, to gain their profits. We are definitely They are definitely using many visualization tools, so that by using visualization tools, basically we will analyze the data, we'll create some graphs, and with the help of that they will analyze the data, right? Like, if I take any examples, we know basically if it is sales data, by the graphs which we create, by the analysis, correct, statistics, yeah, by the analysis which we made, basically we know that, suppose there is some X company, maybe let's imagine about sales data. Definitely everyone do the business to gain some profits, right? From the analysis we made, from the graphs we create, they will analyze, for every domain, for every project, they will have their own requirements. Suppose if it is sales data, maybe how the sales are being, like from last 6 months, last 2 months, last 1 month, whether they are getting some profits, whether they are getting some losses, if they are facing any losses, in which areas or on which products, from which suppliers, like that, depending upon the data, basically we will create some, visualizations, and depending upon the requirements we'll create the graphs, and by seeing the graphs they can easily understand their data, correct? So depending upon their analysis only, they will take some measures. Depending upon our analysis only, they will take some measures to increase the profits in their business. Basically, everywhere nowadays business is, in every business, visualization tools are being used to analyze their data, right? That is the importance of Tableau or any visualization tool nowadays. Of course, we have so many visualization tools in the market. Tableau is one among them, correct? So before getting into the we will talk more about Tableau, but before that, let's try to understand the importance of visualization. As you can see on my screen, this is, as you know, this is a screenshot of Excel file where we have some employees data, something like employee name, employee number, and salary, right? So if we are trying to, suppose if I ask you, tell me the employee name who is earning highest salary or lowest salary kind of thing, by seeing the data, we cannot answer that within few seconds. Of course, we can apply some filters here, but still it will take some time, right? But if you can see this picture, this is a screenshot of our Tableau desktop. Like we have one graph called as horizontal bar graph, that this is the screenshot of that particular graph. And here, if we know that the bars is representing, like the longest bar is representing the highest salary and the smallest bar is representing the lowest salary. If we know that particular point, and if I ask you the same question by showing you this picture, you can answer my questions within a very few seconds, right? If I ask you the same question, that who is the employee earning highest salary, generally the reason why showing you this in the sense to understand the importance of visualizations or graphs here. We can understand if it is, if the data is very big also, we can create by using visualizations, by creating graphs, we can understand the data very easily and quickly, right? And obviously human brains react to visuals faster, correct? So yeah, next features of Tableau, we will discuss this going forward. Okay, so now let's try to understand about products of Tableau. Okay, so as we know, s- we have actually six products here. We have six Tableau products. Okay, you can see on my screen. One is Tableau Desktop, Tableau Reader, Tableau Public, Tableau Server, Tableau Online, and Tableau Prep. Okay, so Tableau Desktop is the one which we are going to install and which we are going to create all the graphs. Okay, this is the place where we will create all the visualizations. Once we are done with demo classes, I'll show you the installation process of Tableau Desktop. Okay, so these are all the different products of Tableau. Okay, within the Tableau, with they have their own six different types of products. Okay, so in that, Tableau Desktop is one. Next, Tableau server. Obviously, in real time, we will connect to Tableau server only. Our own, what according to our client, maybe whatever project we are working on, we will connect to. I mean, within our company, we will connect to our company's Tableau server. Correct. And in the Tableau server only we will work. But again, it is a nothing but inside Tableau server we can able to, you know, I can say we can able to open Tableau desktop only internally inside the Tableau server. Okay, so basically this is one more product from the Tableau. Okay, so in which in real time we will use Tableau server only, we will create all the graphs in it only. And not only us, even we have some kind of admin settings or admin operations also in Tableau server. Basically, Tableau administrators will also use this Tableau server. So what are all the admin options we have? Not only creating the graphs, okay, in actually internally in within the Tableau server, we can open Tableau desktop, we can open Tableau prep also. I'll explain what is prep in a while. So we can open both of them inside a Tableau server. Okay, basically in a after a while, I'll show you our course content. Okay. All the concepts of Tableau first we will learn by using Tableau desktop. Once all the concepts are done, at the end, we will even learn what is Tableau server, how we can access the Tableau server, Okay, what are all the options we have, how internally we can create the graphs, how internally we can view Tableau desktop inside Tableau server, how we are viewing Tableau prep inside Tableau server. Not only that, we have so many admin options in it. Okay, we will learn each and every concept practically in Tableau server class. In this course, I not only we work on Tableau desktop, we also learn Tableau server. Okay, all the developing part as well as all the admin options also. We have something called as site roles in it, right? We have different site roles. For each and every role, what is the importance, what are all the functionalities we can do for each and every role. I mean, we will see, you can understand very detailedly in that particular class. Okay, as I said, we have many admin options here. Something like, we have one something like schedule in Tableau server. Okay, scheduling is nothing but suppose we imagine that I created one dashboard. Okay, every day maybe I wanted to send that dashboard to anyone, maybe to my manager or maybe to my client, like that, imagine. Okay, instead of daily logging into the server and instead of daily sharing that particular dashboard to the particular members, I can just create a schedule, and in which I will add the users, okay, to whom I want to send, and then I will you know create a frequency of time. Suppose if it is daily on what time I wanted to send this file for them, like that I'll select the time, I'll select the days, and we will create the schedule automatically. At that particular time, daily, I mean, however we selected, if it is daily or how many, like, the days or dates, whatever we selected, accordingly the particular dashboard will be sent to the users automatically. Okay, that is nothing but schedule. How we are going to create schedule, what are all the options we have, everything we will learn practically whenever we are learning Tableau server classes. Not only schedules, we will have something called as alerts. Okay, we will learn everything practically in this particular classes. So if you learn, I mean, basically in our course, not only Tableau desktop, we will also cover Tableau server at the end. So that definitely we need to have at least idea of how Tableau server looks like, what is the user interface of Tableau server, what are all the options we have, right? So for that reason, I even included Tableau server also as a part of our course. Okay, next you can see one more product is Tableau public. Okay, this is also a product where we can create the graphs. Okay, but there is a small difference between Tableau desktop and Tableau public. Okay, so basically Tableau desktop is a 14-day free trial version. Okay, we can get Tableau desktop freely for only 14 days. Okay, uh, whereas Tableau public, if we wanted to, if you want to create some graphs in Tableau public, it is freely available, we can download and we can use it freely. Okay, but here we have something called as data sources. I'll explain you in a while what is data sources. Okay, so we have so many data sources in or else let's do one thing. First, let me explain data source. Without explaining that, if I tell you the difference between desktop and public, you we can't understand properly. Okay, so before explaining about the difference of desktop and public, let me explain about a data source first. Okay, so data source is nothing but, obviously, before explaining this, we know that we are generating lots and lots of data, right? As you can see, this is an Excel file. The picture where you can see, that is an Excel file. Okay, either we can store data in Excel file, right? We know that we will store data in text files, in the form of PDFs, or in the form of any kind of databases, right? These are all the basically, these are all some formats of storing the data, like from, I mean, the where we are storing the data, either in Excel file we will store, text file, PDF file, in any kind of database. Again, in databases also we are having so many types of databases, right? So these are all the places where we are storing data actually. Okay, So here in Tableau, each and every this one actually we will call it as a data source. That is, Excel is one data source, text file is one data source, PDF is one data source, and all the database files. Suppose if it is MySQL, it is one data source, like that. From where we are getting data actually. Okay, from where we are connecting the data is called as data source in here. Okay. First of all, in Tableau, you may already know that as you are saying you're working currently. So what will happen in Tableau? Obviously, I said we will create the graphs. Obviously, to create the graphs, first we need data, correct? So imagine this is one database where I'm having some data, okay? And this is the Tableau desktop where I need to create some graphs, okay? So basically I need to connect to the data, then only I can able to create some graphs, right? So the place from where we are connecting the data, this we will call it as data source. Okay, it can be in any, I mean, any format I can say, or any file. It can be Excel file, PDF file, any kind of database. Everything we will call it as, each and every one, every particular thing we will call it as a data source. Okay, now let's get back to the difference, I mean, let's get back to the Tableau products. So yeah, so now I'm saying that Excel file is one data source, text file is one data source, database is one data source, like, right? So in desktop, actually we will have, in Tableau desktop, we will have so many data source available. Okay, so many options we will have. We can connect to any kind of database. If I wanted to connect to Excel file and if I wanted to create some graphs, I can connect. If I wanted to connect to any kind of database, I can connect to that particular database and I can create some graphs. Like that, many data sources are available in Tableau desktop. Whereas in Tableau public, we have very limited data sources. Okay, maybe only Excel file, like that, very limited data sources we have. We don't have any database options here. Okay, that is the main difference. For 14 days, if you wanted to practice, you can install Tableau desktop later. Anyways, the connection type will, I mean, the data source only will be different. Once we connect to the data, the concepts will be same here. So for practice purpose, even you can use Tableau public also, but we need to remember that only Excel file we can connect here. And after creating any graphs, after we created any work, that particular dashboards or that particular graphs won't be saved into our local machine if we are using Tableau public. Okay, whatever we create here, that will be, online only. We can't, there is no save button, we can't save our work into our local systems in Tableau public. Whereas in Tableau desktop, whatever graphs we create, we can save all that graphs or dashboards into our systems. Okay, these two differences we have in desktop and public. But basically the functionalities will be same. Here also we can create all the Tableau graphs. Both the places basically we can create any kind of visualizations. Okay, and I said that Tableau desktop is only 14 days free trial version we will have, right? So while I'm showing the installation process, we can install a you know free trial version only, but later I'll suggest to each and, I mean, every time in all the batches, I'll suggest to my students that actually in Tableau desktop, normally there is only 14 days free trial, but it is freely available for 1 year for students. Okay, for students, Tableau desktop is freely available only for students for 1 year. Okay, so that is the reason I suggest that if you can able to get any student ID card, maybe from your friends or family, if you can able to get any of the student currently, if he should be a student, and if you can able to get the picture of the any of the student ID card, we have one website here, we can upload that particular ID card there and we will register as that particular student. Okay, and by registering like that, we can get the access of Tableau desktop freely for 1 year. Like that, I'll show you that process once our demo classes is done. By using this process also, we can get the desktop freely for 1 year. or else normally we will get it for 14 days. Okay, this is about Tableau Desktop. I hope I'm clear so far, whatever I said. Perfect. So Tableau Desktop we understood, Tableau Server we understood, Tableau Public we understood. Now what is Tableau Online in the sense? Nowadays we are calling it as Tableau Cloud. Previously we used to call it as Tableau Online. Both are same. Basically here we need to, I mean, we will create our own Tableau online account or our own Tableau cloud account. Basically I'll show how we are going to create it, but by using that credentials only we will actually log into our Tableau server. In real time we will get our company's credentials to log into the company's Tableau server, but in learning process obviously we need to, I mean, basically we will use our mail IDs. Okay, and we will create first Tableau online or Tableau cloud account, both are same. Okay, and after creating Tableau cloud account by using that credentials we will log in to the Tableau server. That is a process. Going forward we will learn that. I'll show you how we are going to create our own accounts and how we are going to access Tableau server. Okay, next, Tableau reader. This is just a reader. Whatever visualization graphs are available in this Tableau reader, anyone can access that particular files, okay, freely only. Basically something like maybe journalists will use this if they wanted to post any, visualizations kind of, I mean, if they wanted to post any articles along with the visualizations like that, whatever available in the Tableau reader, that is freely available. Just we can read or we can access that files freely. Okay, so we can actually in real time we will use. This is not that useful. Let's focus on the remaining products. So next and very important product is Tableau Prep here. Okay, Tableau Prep. So Tableau Prep is a kind of ETL tool. Okay, we have many ETL tools in the market. ETL in the sense extraction, transformation, and loading. Okay, extraction, transformation, and loading. So we have many ETL tools in the market, but within Tableau also we'll have a kind of ETL tool, that is a Tableau Prep. Okay, so basically before connecting to the Tableau desktop, if we want to extract the data, if we want to clean the data, we will connect that data to the Tableau Prep where we can perform some cleaning steps. And then basically what is extraction, transformation, and loading in essence, we will extract the data first. We will transform the data. The transformations can be in any kind, like if you want to perform clean steps, or we have some options here, maybe joins, maybe unions. Going forward we'll see. So anyways, if you want to transform your data to particular to particular way, okay, how you wanted to transform the data, that kind of transformations we will perform within the Tableau Prep. And once it is done, we will load the data back to either Tableau desktop or Tableau server. Okay, that is nothing but extraction. We will extract the data, we'll transform the data, and we will load that data back to Tableau server or Tableau desktop. Okay, very important concept. Obviously being data analyst, we need to learn any kind of ETL tool, especially within the Tableau. We are already having Tableau Prep, so this will be very useful for us. In our course we will also learn about Tableau Prep. Okay, at the end we will have some classes, 3 to 4 classes on Tableau server and 3 to 4 classes on Tableau Prep as well. I'll show you what are all the cleaning steps we have, what are all the transforming options we have, how basically how we are creating any flows. Okay, we will learn everything practically at the end. Okay, this is about um yes, all are covered, right? Public server, yes. This is about Tableau products. Basically, we have 6 types of Tableau products, in which Tableau desktop, Tableau server, Tableau prep is important. Along first, we will learn all the Tableau concepts by using Tableau desktop. Once we are done with that, Then we will learn Tableau server and Tableau prep, okay, in our course. So yeah, this is about Tableau products. I hope I'm clear. Perfect. Now let's understand about a user interface of Tableau. Let's see. This is Tableau desktop. As I said, once we are done with demo classes, I'll show you the installation process. But now let's try to create our first graph. So before that, let's try to understand the user interface of Tableau. So once I open my Tableau desktop, I can able to see like this. Okay. So towards the left side, you can see something called as Connect. This is called as Connect panel, where you can find the list of all the data sources available up to here. Just now I said what is a data source, right? From where we are connecting the data. Here Excel is one data source, text file is a data source, PDF file is a data source. Like that, we have some file options here and we have some server options here. In servers also you can see we have Oracle server and we have MySQL, Microsoft SQL Server. If I'm clicking on more, we have so many options available here. That is the reason I said in Tableau Desktop we have so many data sources available. Whatever we want, whatever database we want to connect, we can connect from here. Okay. In the Connect panel, we can able to see the list of data sources available in Tableau. At the bottom, we have something called as Save Data Sources. Okay. Basically, these data sources are provided by Tableau for practice purpose. I can say you can use for practice purpose, you can use this kind of data sources. One is sample superstore and the second one is wall indicators. Okay. And here we have open my recently opened files. I can able to see here in the open section, and quick start if we wanted to directly if I wanted to directly access this already available accelerators or sample workbooks, I can open this one also. And towards the right side we have something called as discover. We can ignore that. This basically, if we have any updates or error from the Tableau community, we can able to see some kind of resources or information here. Okay. And yes, and this is called as menu bar. In this we have file and data. Anyways, going forward we will see all these options. Okay. Now let's create our first graph. For that, okay, we need to connect to data first of all, right? Just now we observed that first we need to create any graphs. First of all, we need data. Okay. So imagine this is the database where I have my data, and this is the Tableau desktop where I'm going to create some graphs. Okay. So how I can able to create the graphs? To create the graphs, first of all I need to connect to the data, correct? So definitely there should be something in between which helps me to connect my data to the Tableau desktop, right? There should be some communication path or something in between which is connecting our data, which is helping us to connect the data to the Tableau desktop. That is nothing but Tableau connection. Okay. Tableau connection. We have two types of Tableau connections. One is live connection and the next second one is extract connection. Okay. So as I said, extract connection. As I said, to these are all the data sources. Okay. So to we basically we need to connect to the data source first, right? We connect to the data and then only I can create any kind of graphs. So Tableau connection is helping me to connect my data towards to the Tableau desktop. Okay, and we have two types of Tableau connections. As I said, live connection and extract connection. Okay, what is live connection? What is extract connection? We will learn, very detailedly and practically going forward. Okay, now let's connect to, maybe as this is our first class. Let's connect to Excel file. Okay, first I'm just clicking on the Excel file, and then it will allow me to select any of the files from my system. Maybe I'll connect to sample superstore data, because this is the database. This is the data provided by Tableau itself. Okay. So in that we'll have some good kind of, perfect data. So basically in that Excel file we have three sheets. Okay. In that I wanted to work on orders. First of all, as you can, if you observe, once I connected to the data, I redirected to this page. This is called as data source level. Okay, where I can able to preview my data. Okay, now it is showing me the connection details. Okay, this is the connection, and it is showing me, like, I got connected to Microsoft Excel file, and the file name is sample superstore. Right at the bottom, it is showing me the sheets. I'm having 3 sheets in that particular Excel file: orders, peoples, and returns. Basically, I wanted to work on orders. So whatever sheet or we wanted to work, that sheet we need to drag and drop it here. Let's do that. I'm dragging and dropping it here. Now I can able to get the preview of my data. Okay, so you can see, as I said, towards the top right we have connection. Okay, which is helping us to connect the data. By default we will always will be on the live connection. In which scenarios we will use extract connection, and what is the difference between live and extract connection, we will discuss detailedly going forward. Okay, we'll have a separate topic on this particular concept, that is Tableau connections. Okay, and you can see here, this is the data preview. You can see I'm having this many columns here, something like row ID, order date, ship mode, like that. I'm having so many columns here. Okay, and this is just about information about that particular column names and the data types available. Okay, and yeah, so if you observe here, on the top of the each column you can see some symbols, right? Actually, you might already aware about data types in SQL, right? SQL is nothing but structure query language, right? Which is used to communicate with the database. So first of all, if you want to become any Tableau developer, data analyst, whatever it is, we need to definitely have good knowledge of SQL. Okay, along with this visualization tool, we should also be thorough with the SQL concepts. Okay, SQL concepts. So you might already know about data types. Data types is nothing but, obviously, first of all, in SQL we will store data in the form of tables, we know, right? Suppose this is also, we can able to see like tables only, right? Inside tables we will have columns and rows, as we know, rows and columns. Suppose if this is employee ID, if this is employee name, and this is employee salary, imagine. You already might know about all these things, correct? So for each and every column we will define some data type. Data type is something which, by using which we will understand what kind of data we can able to store inside that particular column, right? Basically we have numerical data type, right, in which we will store numbers. Next, character or string data type, in which we will store all the character data. And we have date time data type, correct? In SQL we have this kind of data types, right? Likewise in Tableau also we have data types. We have same numerical data types where we will store numbers, character or string data type where we will store characters, date time data type where we will store dates. Along with that, we have one more data type in Tableau, that is nothing but geographical data type. Okay, geographical data type where we will basically store any location kind of data, wherever we use some maps. Okay, longitude, latitude kind of data, any maps we will just, I mean, we can access maps by using this particular data type. Okay, so actually Tableau is very smarter enough here. In SQL we will manually define all the data types, but in Tableau it is very smarter. Once we connect to the data, it automatically recognizes the data types here. If you can see, this is a numerical data. Hash indicates a numerical data type. Okay, ABC indicates character data type, and this calendar symbol, this indicates date data type. Okay, that is what you can see, the symbols. Okay, and for geographical data type we have globe symbol. Let's observe. You can see country, city name, state name. For this we have a globe symbol, that is nothing but geographical data type. Okay, Perfect. So this is about this. Now this basically we'll call it as data source level, where we can able to see the our connection details, where we can able to see uh, the preview of our data, and what connection we basically connected to, what connection we are using, whether it is live or extract. Okay, but to create graphs we need to go to sheet level. Here you can see we have something called as sheet 1. I'm just clicking on that. Okay, this is a place where you can see canvas. Here we are going to create some graphs, right? So let's see. Suppose this is sheet level. Basically, to open a new sheet, again we have, this is a menu bar here. This is a toolbar. In menu bar we have worksheet option. In this, if we click on new worksheet, one more worksheet we can able to open. Okay, or else here we have some three icons. The first icon is indicating a sheet. If we wanted to open a new worksheet, first of all, you can see this complete as a book one. Tableau book one. Basically, we have something called as workbook. Inside workbook, we will have a collection of sheets. Okay, like this. Whatever we want, how many graphs? I mean, each sheet we can create one graph. So like that, we have some sheets here. Along with the sheets, going forward, we will have something called as dashboards. Dashboards is again nothing but collection of sheets. Individually, if we want to create graphs, we will use sheets. But after creating some three or four graphs, if we wanted to, place all the sheets or all the graphs in one, in one place or in one page, then we will use dashboards. Collection of all the sheets together. Okay. And then we have something called as story. Tableau stories, that is a collection of Tableau sheets as well as Tableau dashboards. We can store all the sheets and dashboards together inside a story. Okay, I'm just giving an overview now. Anyways, going forward, we will learn all of them, very clearly and very practically. Okay, so let's focus now. You can see in data source level, whatever actually I'm connected to sample superstore data, in that data I'm having this many columns, and in sheet 1 all that columns I can able to see here, right? So basically I have something called as tables. First of all, you can see here, this is the symbol of a data source. Okay, or database or data source. Here it is showing me for which data source I got connected, orders of sample superstore. Okay, then at the bottom I'm having tables, and below tables I can able to see all the column names of this particular data source. Okay, right? This column names, row id, order id, ordered it, like that, how many column names are there, all the columns I can able to see here. But if you observe, there is a small separation here, small line which is separated, which is basically separated our columns into two parts. Okay, the first part is called as dimensions. Okay, and the second part is called as measures. Okay, so what is dimensions, what is measures? In the sense, it's very simple. These are all the column names only, but basically on whatever column names I can able to perform some kind of calculations. Okay, calculations in the sense, it can be addition, it can be subtraction, any kind of arithmetic calculations, or if I can able to perform some percentages, like that, any kind of calculations, all those columns belongs to measures. Not only calculations, suppose we have something called as aggregate functions in SQL, if you know, right? Aggregate functions, what are all the aggregate functions we have? We have sum function, right? We have min, that is minimum. We have maximum, correct? We have count function, and we have average, right? All these are basically called as aggregate functions. So on whatever columns I can able to perform this kind of calculations, or on whatever columns I can able to perform this kind of, you know aggregate functions, that is minimum, maximum, sum, count, and average. Okay, all that columns basically belongs to measures. Okay, remaining all columns measure belongs to dimensions. Okay, I repeat once again, this is very important point. We need to understand the difference between or what is dimension, what is measure. By using these things only, we will create the graphs, right? On whatever columns I'm going to, I can able to create some kind of calculations, or on whatever columns I can able to apply some kind of aggregate functions. All those columns belongs to measures. Remaining all columns comes under dimensions. Okay. If we can also think that maybe all the numerical data types maximum belongs to measures, remaining all data types comes under dimensions, but still that is not the correct definition. This is the correct definition, because you can observe we have row id here. This is also a numerical data type, right? But you can see this is coming under dimensions. The reason behind this is row id is nothing but that is a static data, right? For each row I'm having a id. I won't perform any kind of calculations on this. I won't perform any kind of aggregations on this, right? Because this is static data. For each row I just give one number, that is we won't we won't try to change that. That will be static always. So that kind of data again goes or lies under dimensions only, whether that is numerical data type also. Okay, that is the understanding between or the difference between dimension and measure. Am I clear this point? So these are perfect. These are dimensions, these are measures. Okay, so now at the bottom, at the top, we have something called as rows and columns. Okay, this is the place where we need to keep these fields, then we can able to create the graphs. We have something called as show me towards the top right corner. Okay, this is called as show me panel. Basically in Tableau we have 24 inbuilt graphs. Okay, all the inbuilt graphs we can able to see here. Along with the inbuilt graphs, we can also create some kind of advanced graphs by following some steps. So first in the visualizations concept, we'll learn about all these 24 inbuilt graphs. Once we are done with this, then we will learn some of the advanced graphs also in our course. Okay, so for now, for the initially all the graphs will be disabled only, but first when we selected any dimension and or measure, that then related graphs will be enabled for us. Okay, if you just if we keep our cursor on it, at the bottom in this section it will show the description about any particular graph. For example, I'm keeping the cursor here. At the bottom I can see this particular graph name is horizontal bar, and to create that particular graph, zero or more dimensions, one or more measure, that is minimum requirements. It is telling me one, at least one measure I require to create this particular graph, right? Like that. Tableau is very smarter. Almost we will get all the information here only. Okay, so yeah, and this is filters card, marks card. We will discuss all this about all the sections in tomorrow's class. Okay, for now I'll just show you for in the initially all the graphs are disabled only. Once I select any particular columns, then the related data will be enabled for us. Okay, for example, I wanted to create subcategory. I'm just selecting subcategory. If I'm selecting that data, only this particular graph is enabled, because only I selected only one particular data here. If I selected sales, I got so many graphs. So after selecting the data, all the related graphs will be enabled for me automatically. From this, I can select whatever graph I wanted to create. Suppose I'm selecting horizontal bar, then I got this particular graph, right? So we have few more options here. Okay. If you can see here, this is the views. Actually standard view will get by default. If I'm clicking on entire view, I can able to see very clearly. Okay, and you can see here x-axis, this is y-axis, we have sales here, we have subcategories here. It is showing me subcategory wise sale. each and every bar is representing subcategory wise sales here. For all the horizontal bars, even I can sort the data. We have two symbols here, so I can sort the data in ascending order or descending order. If I'm just clicking on this, you can see I it got sorted. If I want, if you can see, if I'm keeping the cursor here, it is showing me subcategory name, sale value like 330K. Okay, so that particular box is called as tooltip. Okay, tooltip. Inside tooltip, we can decide what we wanted to display actually. Okay, suppose if I'm moving the cursor, it is showing me like this. Instead of before, if suppose without moving the cursor also, if I wanted to display sale value beside a bar, then simple here. In the max card, we are having so many options. We have color option, we have size option. These are all something called as settings. If I want to apply color to my graphs, I can use this color option. If I apply the size, if I want to apply some size to my graphs, I can use this like that. We have so many options. Detailing, as we are almost done with the time now, detail I'll explain tomorrow. Okay, this is label. If I want to enable some text, if I want to give labels to my graphs, I'll use this option. Okay, for now I wanted to display sale value also beside each and every individual bar. So for that, I'll just drag the sales and drop it on the top of this label. Okay, let's see. Then I can able to see that particular sale value beside the bar itself. If I wanted to change the color of my graph, that is for each and every subcategory, if I want to give different color, then I'll just drag this subcategory and drop it on the color part. I can get like this. Okay, here actually creating graphs is very easy, but the main part is, we need to understand, we need to have an idea of what kind of graphs, for what I mean, for basically for what kind of data, what type of graphs we need to create. Okay, that is also the most important thing here. So all that things we will understand very clearly in our visualization concept. Okay, for each and I mean for each and every graph, basically what kind of data in which scenarios we'll use which graph. Okay, and not only creating graphs, we have so many concepts here. Okay, let me just take one more minute and I'll explain course content. Before that, just give me a second. Okay, so in chat, already admin people gave the details of registration. Okay, if you really like the content, you can just get register. Okay, I'm also pasting the same. All right. So before that, let me show the course content here. And you know that the course duration is of 40 days, that is 40 sessions. Okay. From today only, we started this particular batch, and the timing is of 8 p.m. IST only. And the course content is first introduction to Tableau. Okay. Tableau features, Tableau products, which I already explained. Okay, importance or implementation of Tableau in real world, user interface of Tableau desktop, installation of Tableau desktops, data types in Tableau, almost some concepts we covered. Next, generating Tableau reports from text files and Excel files. What is measures and dimension, what is continuous and discrete data, and these are all rows, shelf, marks, card, color. These are all the options we had in Tableau desktop. Okay, up to here this is a very basic understanding, only basics of Tableau. And then Tableau architecture. Okay, here we are going to use SQL Server basically to create all the graphs within the in the Tableau. Here we are going to use SQL Server database. Okay, so obviously I can say, okay, SQL is a backbone for complete data analytics. Okay, we need to definitely have a sound knowledge on SQL. Okay, and in this course obviously I'll teach some basic concepts of SQL Server also. Whatever concepts are needed to to understand Tableau, that concepts will be covered, not the complete SQL part, but the basic concepts are covered, like basics of database, what is database, what is SQL. Okay, And I'll show you the installation process of Tableau, sorry, SQL Server. And then we will understand we have some concept called as sub languages. In that we have many different commands like DDL, DML, TCL, DCL, and DQL. Okay, we have so many commands inside it. I'll explain each and every command. Okay, basically how we are going to alter any table, how we are going to update the data, delete the data, everything we will learn. And then we have something called as integrity constraint, something like primary key and foreign key, which is again important. So we will discuss about that particular keys also. Once it is done, we will discuss about joins concept. Joins is very important in Tableau as well as SQL. We have different types of joins. We'll discuss each and every join very clearly. Okay, so like this I'll explain some basics of SQL Server along with the installation. Then we will see how we are going to generate Tableau reports by using SQL Server. Okay. Then what is data warehouse? Not only database, actually we will also use data warehouse to create the graphs. So what is data warehouse and what is the difference between database and data warehouse? We will learn everything here. Okay. OLTP, OLAP, we'll also call them as, okay. And how we are going to restore SQL Server. And here I'll also give you a real-time data warehouse and database. I'll show you how we are going to restore it. And then Tableau connections, Tableau access. And then from here, we'll start our advanced concepts, okay. That is joins first, then data blending, filters in Tableau, Tableau actions, hierarchy, Tableau parameters, then visualizations. Each and every visualization we will learn. Okay, I mean all the 24 inbuilt graphs, then advanced graphs, then Tableau sets using parameters. Okay, normally creating graphs is something like we will create a static way of graphs, right? But in real time, not only the static way of graph, we need to create graphs in a dynamic way, so that if any new data comes into our database, that data should also include into our graph. So for that, for creating dynamic graphs, basically we will use sets and parameters concept. We'll discuss about them detailedly. Actually we are done with the time. That is the reason I'm explaining very quickly. Tomorrow once again I'll give you the overview very clearly. Okay, then Tableau functions, drop lines, trend lines, forecasting lines, Tableau dashboard, stories, Tableau online, server prep. At the end, the specialty of our course is not only learning all the concepts. At the end, we will build one real-time dashboard from scratch. Even not only dashboards, I will explain formatting techniques also, how we are going to format a dashboard by using one HR analytics data. Okay, this is about our course content. All right, Krishna, let's connect tomorrow and I'll explain. I will discuss about the remaining things in tomorrow's session. Okay. All right. Thank you. Bye.